I think it's pretty obvious we don't know what we're talking about, so I think everything's good.
Now y'all know what's wrong with me. And on that note,
I don't even know if it was bad wrestling. I just know that it was bad on our part.
Go support your team. Go
Yes.
support fans, cheerleaders.
The auto mix inspired Michael Ball. It's the first time he's ever raised his hands on a yes.
Well,
so that's pretty impressive.
Scare that referee's coming back. Let's talk a little football.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Press Box. I am so glad that you can join us. I'm here with Randy Young, Michael Best, Jim Rayburn, Austin Reams, and we're going to talk a little football. But, you know, when you think about football, you think about dedication, you think about hard times and getting through them, and you think about Michael Best.
Hard times.
Yeah.
A lot of it brought on by itself.
Self-inflicted.
So tell us about your dedication.
Well, I just mentioned before we started the show how dedicated I am to you, the viewers, to be here because I know so many people tuned in. Is he going to be on there? What's he going to say? Stupid?
Everybody's worried about it every week.
Yeah.
Every week. At 9:30 this morning, I was in the dentist chair having a root canal.
No.
But yet here I am eating candy corn.
Eating some auto mix.
You're gonna
That's
be
why I'm
back.
going to have another root canal.
You're gonna have another one.
I'm gonna have another candy corn. But yes,
Especially with them pumpkins here. Just
they
saying.
had so much in my mouth at one. I know it all fit.
Yeah.
You know, it
I
wasn't
can't
hard.
imagine.
Beat us to it.
But hard not fitting, but yeah, I had a root canal. And I love when you got all that going on. They say, "Are you okay?" What are you going?
Yeah.
What's the choice?
But here I am
you go.
because I'm dedicated.
Because of the love. There we go.
That's it.
Mr. Auto Mix.
I'm bleeding internally, but I'm here.
Well, Thomas County Central ought to love the results over Houston County, 41-31, in a fantastic game, really fun game.
Yeah.
Just kind of back and forth. So tell us a little bit about that one, Randy.
Yeah, it was. It was a great game to watch. I mean, as a spectator and a football fan, it was kind of the embodiment of momentum in a high school game and how much difference that can make. We come out on fire. I mean, 14-0 before you can blink. And I'm thinking in the back of my mind, we're about to blow them out of here. And A.J. Hill, who is a big 6'5", about 220-pound quarterback for them, he is something.
Yeah.
His arm strength.
He pops out on film,
oh my
too,
gosh,
goodness.
his arm strength. And I'm going to give you an example of it in a minute that just blew me away. But he hits a little quick out to a receiver along their sidelines near the 20-yard line, trying to create a one-on-one with the defensive back, and we have two of our best defensive guys on him. We had Trey Pringle and D. Reddick. I mean, they're going to get a whole lot better than that. Those guys will be playing D1 eventually, and Trey's pushing him out of bounds, and D comes from behind him and tries to strip the ball out, but neither one of them tackled him. And they thought they heard a whistle or something, I don't know, but they just stopped, and when they stopped, he took off, and 81 yards later, we're watching him run into the end zone. I mean, and we all know this, if the ref doesn't call it, it doesn't happen.
That's right.
Jim knows that, just saying, it doesn't happen. So the ref never blew the whistle, never said he was out of bounds, and the play continued. So that kind of kept the IV on for him a little bit. We score again, it's 21-7, and then they just grabbed momentum in that second quarter. I mean, it was like our first quarter, their second quarter. They go in 24-21 at the half, kicked a field goal as time's running out. And then we make adjustments, and as we've done the last couple of years with Coach Rogers' staff, the adjustments worked. We outscored them 20-7 in the second half. They had 316 total yards at the half, and about 90% of those were passing yards, and they ended up with 400. So they had 84 total yards after the half. Very impressive performance. Central got after it really, really good defensively, pressured A.J. Hill all night. He had a pass, though, that really and truly, in my mind, is almost unlike anything I've ever seen on a high school football field. He threw the ball from about his 18-yard line, and their guy caught it right around our 23. And it was like, and he didn't just stand back there with everything he had and throw it. It was almost like he flicked it. Anyway, incredible arm strength. Both teams end up with about 400 total yards. And now we get Coffee County coming in here. And a total contrast in style, where Houston County has these long, lean receivers that they want to get the ball to and wing it all over the place. Houston County, they want to get the ball, control the clock, control the tempo, and limit your possessions. So I'll be interested to see how we attack this. They're a very, very good defensive team. The previous week, they shut out Houston 14-0. Even though, if you go back and watch that, Houston dropped 4 wide open cinch touchdowns. But as you know, Coach Pilcher used to say, you throw the football, 3 things are going to happen. 2 of them ain't good. And that's one of those nights for Houston County.
Speaking of home, we got a home playoff streak on the line here for the syrup makers. They lost to Peach 48-17, and you're going to Westover on Halloween.
Woo!
Mill Stadium on a Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
It's going to be
A trick or a treat.
That's a
Yeah,
trick
trick
or
or
a
Probably a
treat.
trick.
Could be.
all right. Well, tell me about the Peach County game. I guess maybe the main story is going to be number 4,
Brian Duncan.
Brian Duncan, and I hear he's doing well. Don't know everything at this point, but I'm glad. First of all, I mean, I had people stop me in Thomasville and was like, how's he doing? Is he okay?
Yeah,
So
same
he's
in
doing well.
Loudons.
We go up there and we play in the house that Bucky's built, and it is a nice stadium. It's in a bowl, okay,
Yeah.
and
Well-
they got a brand new school, brand new stadium.
They got a good brisket sandwich
got a
there.
good brisket sandwich.
You can smell it.
Buc-ee's,
Well,
yeah.
the way it is in the bowl, the press box, you just walk up to it. It's ground level because the bowl goes
That's
down.
what us old folks need.
Well, that
a good idea.
on the surface was a good idea, but we get there and then they tell us, the radio is on this porch that's outside the press box, and there's just a wall. So we had to put all our stuff on the wall, okay? And there's a porch. But we get broadcasting the game, and then I'm getting texts from people saying we can't hear you. So I'm turning stuff up, and when you're on the road with radio, you can't hear the radio
Right,
station,
right.
so you're just guessing. And
You look at your phone during the broadcast?
do I? And so I'm getting texts, and
I
it's
can't.
like
I can't do it.
it's like we can't understand you. My wife texted and said, "What is going on? It's too loud," And then I realized that right down there, right below us, not very far, is about 25 middle school girls. And they don't know there's a game going on. They don't know who's winning, who's losing, who's playing.
and don't care.
They don't care. They're right there, and they are screaming as loud as they can scream, conversating with each other, hitting, running, chasing, coming back to that spot. And at one point, even, Blair said, there is not human sacrifice going on, even though it's not. And literally, we backed as far up as we could get to keep the noise away. It was the most unusual. The crowd was very quiet over. They had a packed house, but they weren't a rowdy crowd.
Was it like an open area in front of you or something? Was it in the stands?
No, we're out in the open.
Okay.
So we're out
Interesting.
on the side. We're like on the porch outside.
Because all
And so-
stadiums have a porch. I'm
Yeah,
just
so
saying.
we're just outside on this porch, and they're right there. And literally, it was
Okay.
the worst. Nobody. When we got done, I went to Buc-ee's and got some ibuprofen. I just had to stop in. I had a headache.
And candy corn.
And candy corn. And a brisket sandwich. So anyway, in the game, our plan was we knew that they were going to score a lot, and we knew we had to try to keep up with them. So we tried to limit their possessions. First half, they score the first 2 times they get the ball. They know that's going to happen too, because the second time they go for 2, and they miss it. And so, we come down and we score. And 2L Teal, Jalen, he goes in and makes it, 13-7. Then Brian Duncan breaks one for a touchdown, gets called back for holding. It was about 60, 70 yards. It got called back for holding. Well, then a few minutes later, he broke one for 82 yards. We got that one. So we went up 14-13. Then the most incredible onside kick, we executed perfectly. They just kind of all huddled up, standing around, and then just kind of spun around, and Dre kicked it. We fell on it. We stole the possession, got it, took it down the field. Couldn't punch it in for a touchdown, but Dre Bass kicked a 36-yard field goal to put us up 17-13. So you feel like, hey, we're in this game, we're rolling, things are going good. They come back. We get an interception on they bobble it, pop it up a couple of times. Our guy, Gavin Mango, catches it. We've got the ball, but we can't convert it. They get the ball, and with less than a minute to go in the half, they take it down and score and go up 20-17. And you kind of feel a little let down because they're going to get the ball to start. So we come out and kick off to them. They take it right back down. Now they're 2 scores up. Then all of a sudden we're chasing them.
Yeah, you're chasing.
And then, toward the end of the third quarter, Brian gets hurt. And real scary moment. He got bent over. He was down, and somebody fell over him, kind of folded him in half. And so a lot of precautions. They taped him up, had him on the board, and took about 20 minutes. And took him by ambulance to Macon. Had him fully checked over, and about 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, he was released and cleared. It's going to be, that's going to be with
Kind
the
of a
doctors.
game time decision, right?
Doctors and Mama are going to make that
Yeah.
decision, not Coach Coleman. And so that'll be decided at that point. mom and dad will decide, meet with the doctors, and they'll make a decision about what to do. But we're going to Westover on Halloween night, 7 o'clock, up there in U-Mills Stadium, the Good Life City.
The lovely confines.
The lovely confines. And we got to win. If we win, we're pretty sure to have a home field game, and that'll keep that 21 year streak going. We got 22 years in a row of being in the playoffs. But this will be 21 years of being home. And if we lose, we don't know if we'll be home or not, according to the power rankings. So backs against the wall, because Westover, best record they've had in the history of their school right now. They've never been 8-1. They're 8-1 with their only loss coming to
Was it Monroe that lost to?
Peach.
Sure.
Peach.
And so it's going to be a big game. And they say they have the biggest offensive line in the state of Georgia. They're
I know they got one D1 prospect for sure. I've seen
yeah.
him.
And then their running back is they have a sophomore running back that's pretty close to Brian, right behind him. He's got about 1,600 yards. So it's going to be
a war on
huge
Halloween.
challenge.
He might be in
for
Lee
us.
next year.
Yeah. He may be running his last
I
time.
hope not.
But huge challenge for us. Backs against the wall. We got a lot to do. So
Just take
Yep.
care of your business.
That's right.
got to
Take
do what we
business.
got to do. So.
And thankfully, Brian's going to be okay. That's the main
Yeah,
thing.
that's
It
the main
sounds like
thing.
he's healing up.
He is. He'll be fine.
Well, let's go ahead and talk about that game. We'll get to
Somebody gets stove up from not playing.
That's right.
Yeah,
we'll get to
not
talk
playing.
in a
That's
minute.
that's
But
a good term.
what's the preview of heading to Berrien County? You do have kind of a rust kind of thing that you're worried about, but the Dogs have been playing well. But let's preview this Berrien County game.
Biggest thing, Berrien County runs an option attack. They try to limit, kind of like Jeff Davis and all, they try to limit your possessions and keep you from scoring, which they haven't been able to do for many teams. But that's going to be tough. Option gives us a little bit of trouble, so it's going to be interesting. I know they've been practicing real hard, trying to simulate games during the weeks, but it's really tough. I know the ones have went against each other in several occasions to keep them sharp, but I mean, coaches like
Yep.
boom, boom, boom. We do
routine.
this every week. Boom, 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 every week. And we've been play one week, boom, 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 off.
Yeah.
Play 1 week. Now we're gonna be off after that before we get into the playoffs. So, a lot's gonna depend on Thomasville season. Is just hoping Worth and Fitzgerald win out, and we win out, then we're one, and we should be either the third or fourth team, depending on other schools. We should be either the third or fourth team in the state
In the power
in
rankings.
power rankings. So if Central and if Cairo would win, I think we need to loan them a running back. If Cairo would win, that would really help our
Yeah,
power
yeah.
rankings.
So
We'll
what
do our
hap-
best.
Certainly, yeah.
What happens if Fitzgerald does lose,
Yeah.
Jim?
Then
Play out the
we're
scenarios.
we're second, and Worth wins region because they beat us.
But would they be one based on power rankings? I mean,
They win the region, so they'd be number one.
I got you.
okay.
Because is it Fitzgerald and Worth are playing
No,
this Friday, or they're playing
no,
different
they've
teams?
already
Okay.
played. Fitzgerald beat Worth, Worth beat
Yeah.
us, thus the three-way tie. So the points differential comes in there. But if Fitzgerald loses, Worth beat us. So
And who's
there's no-
Fitzgerald got this week?
they have Jeff Davis.
Okay.
But Jeff Davis is, since the hurricane, they had a great one-act play, and they've canceled that. So it kind of devastated
Yes.
that area.
Uh-huh.
And the team has not looked the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Speaking
Fitzgerald
of,
sure wants a home game. So
speaking of continuity, that would be
Yeah.
Jeff Davis would be in
Yeah,
that as
but
well. So
Thomasville, Barron's only beat us one time, and that was because of our nemesis that used to be down the road, and then he went over there, and then he beat us. That's the only time Barron's ever beat us. You don't.
He's talking about Ed Pilcher.
yeah, I was like,
That's
Yeah.
not. He's not talking about Michael.
My
I was going to say, why am I in this again? I'm just
You're
sitting out
not.
here with a
You're
root
not.
canal.
I said Thomasville's biggest nemesis. You're
just
so
a
far
yeah,
down the line.
Yeah,
You're just a nim.
You're just
Yeah.
you're just an ex-alumni.
yeah.
An excellent.
Excommunicated, excellent. You're not in the nemesis.
I'm
part
not
of
even
the-
in the nemesis category.
But Barron does have a
man.
great place to play. They have great press box facilities, and they just don't take football seriously. And they used to take baseball real seriously, but they haven't been as good. So I don't know what's going on with the.
Yeah, there are some
They're
good
the-
athletes. You're gonna have to play well. Good
They're
athletes.
They're the only Rebels left, I think. I'm thinking Turner County changed their mascot, but I'm not sure. But
All right.
Berrien County might be the only Rebels left in the state.
All right. Well, let's go to Colquitt County. They beat Camden County 51-41, and so they're playing Richmond Hill. They're playing for playoff rankings as well.
That's a messed up region.
You ain't kidding.
Yeah. So,
That's a
did anybody
mess.
want to dive into how all that's going to go? Because I'm not smart enough
Valdosta
to do
losing
that.
their quarterback really hurt them when they lost to Richmond Hill.
Yep.
And I don't know. They
Same.
play Lowndes this week.
And they only beat Tifton 14-0
Right,
last
and they
week.
only beat. He
And
got
then
hurt
they
in the
won.
Mulger game. They only scored one touchdown there. So, Valdosta was
So
the
they're
odds-on favorite
they're
to
the
win
favorite.
the region. They were
Until the quarterback
Until
goes
the quarterback goes down.
So now Lowndes more
Lowndes-
than likely is probably favored
But if-
in
if-
Wintersville Classic.
right, and that's
Yep.
this week.
If Lowndes wins it, I'm trying to remember the scenario here. If Lowndes wins it and Colquitt wins, I think Colquitt is the region champion.
Oh wow.
Probably
Okay.
because
I think
Colquitt beat Lowndes.
They beat them head to head.
But
Producer
if
Riley's
Richmond
nodding
Hill,
his head over there.
if Richmond Hill beats Colquitt, then Richmond Hill will probably because they beat Valdosta. But Lowndes turned around and beat them.
Right. It's a mess.
It's a
It
messed
really
up
is.
region.
Yeah, it really
Tipton's
is.
the only one that's out of it.
Yep. But they're
They
playing
know where
much,
they're at.
Yeah,
They're playing much better. Yeah, your guy
Tipton
from
looks like a
Bainbridge has got it
program on the
going
rise. Don't
It
they?
is. It would just watch them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
come.
yeah.
Yep.
Not surprised at all.
Yep.
All right, so let's go. Mitchell County, they lost to Early County, 48-16.
That was a disappointment.
Yeah, and but I guess Mitchell County's still playing for a good playoff spot.
But
It
they
looks like
should be
can-
two. They should be
They should
two.
be
If they
two.
beat Seminole.
They got to beat Seminole to be two.
Right.
which
But
it
that was a
looks like
region
they'll do
championship
that.
game there between Mitchell
Yeah,
and
that
Early,
was,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, and then Pelham loses to Miller County 49-21, and they're at Terrell County.
They've had a disappointing season.
They have.
Yeah. But fun to see the Mitchell County Eagles have a good season, and hopefully they can recover from that loss, and we'll see what happens. In the end of the high school section here, Brookwood lost their final game, and I guess the big story is, Coach Boggs resigned. He's won a state title there and been a great coach and a great man, and say a few words. All the schools around here have been very lucky in a lot of ways. We've had a lot of coaches that are they win a lot of games, but also they're even better people.
Yeah.
You can
Coach
certainly
Boggs,
say that.
Coach Boggs was a good man.
No
Yeah.
doubt.
Is a good man.
Yeah.
And a very good coach. I mean,
Right,
he's
right.
left his mark, and I think his legacy's intact, regardless. And I know this has been a very hard season. Anytime you struggle the way that Brookwood has, it's tough. But everybody goes through them. I mean,
Yeah.
everybody has those types of
We've
years.
been
sometimes.
through that not long ago.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Central's the same way. I mean, it's just the way it is. But he leaves it in a good spot. And again, his legacy is secure. He doesn't have to worry about that, no doubt.
Yep. Going to miss him, but good luck to him moving forward. And we're going to do some college football. It's not going to be yes, no. It's going to be trick or treat coming up. All right, and welcome back to this Halloween edition of the Press Box. We're all dressed up like grumpy old white guys for our Halloween costume.
you
so
go.
just wanted you to know,
But with candy corn, we're not grumpy.
Candy.
Yeah,
At
candy
least
corn.
this end's not.
Now,
grumpy.
I started to wear a Georgia shirt today just to throw y'all off.
That'd be a trick or treat.
that would do. That would work.
That would have been
Now,
a trick.
Just if you know the history of the show, I want you guys to know that this is candy corn, Michael.
Yes, it is.
All right, and this is pumpkins, and we should refer to this as candy corn, not this.
But it's
right?
made out of the same stuff.
Same
Yeah,
stuff
yeah,
as candy.
yeah.
corn.
So
Still
anyway,
candy corn.
there's a debate that has raged throughout the history of the show.
Just
so,
you. It's all candy corn.
He's a little grumpy after that root canal, y'all. Like, it's all right.
All that sugar's helping.
All right.
I'm sure it is.
Well, you shouldn't be grumpy about Georgia. They looked really good against Texas and had an off week. They've been a little up and down this year, but they're playing.
A lot of up and down.
They're playing Florida in the world's largest beverage drinking
Celebration.
Call it that.
celebration.
You can't
I
call it
didn't
that
call
anymore.
it. I
The
didn't call
world's
it.
largest celebration is the repeal of prohibition.
Yes,
That's-
there we go. Okay,
That's
all
the
right.
technical.
Is this the last time it'll be played there till the renovation?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
The next 2 years, I'm sure they may be going home.
I've
and
heard
home.
they're gonna play at the Benz and maybe at Raymond James.
Kirby wants to play at home and home. 'Cause
But
he was
Kirby
on-
don't always get his way.
I know, but he was on the receiving end of that mess whenever Spurrier went to Georgia and scored 52 on him.
Yeah.
I think he's maybe wanting to return the favor. But now whether he gets it or not, we'll see.
Yeah, football coaches never forget. I can
No,
tell you
they
that.
don't.
But what team you think is going to show up against Florida? This is kind of Florida is improving. I think their quarterback is not great. He's a young kind of freshman.
He's a freshman.
He can move pretty good, but he's not really consistent. But he can make some plays. What kind of performance are we going to see out of Georgia this week?
Well, they're coming off, the big Texas win. I think they had a good week against the Clark County Sheriff's Department this week. I didn't hear any battles there, so
Yeah.
I think everything's good. I
Got a point.
hadn't heard anything. So, Georgia, Florida is Georgia, Florida, and we have talked about traditionally when you think Georgia's going to go in there and just walk them, it winds up being a battle. So,
But it hasn't been that lately.
It really hasn't
It
been,
has been
but-
that late. It's
Well,
been
I
kind
don't
of
know.
boring lately
Florida
to me.
played them pretty tough last year. I mean, it was 42-30, I think, something like that. They scored a lot of points late to make it. Look at
Yeah,
their eyes.
they scored a lot of points late because,
Well, they
you know,
did. I mean, Georgia was picked to win by like 25 or so, and they ended up winning by 12. So I mean,
Georgia's got a bunch of defensive backs out for
that's the story right there.
targeting.
Yeah, Lagway has a very good, a strong
Yeah,
arm,
yeah.
very strong arm, and two of Georgia's safeties will not be able to play. The first two safeties are not going to be able
They
to play.
shouldn't
the
play
first
so dirty.
and even Jim said that the questioning.
The first one was not targeting.
The last one though that should have been called wasn't called.
Yeah.
But
No,
anyway.
it was in between the other two that shouldn't have been called.
Yeah, I know. But anyway, they've got a freshman that's going to be playing safety now, KJ Bolden, who's a very, very good
well,
athlete.
he's a 5-star. Bless their
Oh,
hearts.
bless their heart.
Yeah.
You just never know in this game.
This end
It's
of
a
the
freshman
year,
over there,
But
it's a big game to come out in.
Georgia.
He might be as good as Alabama's freshman wide receiver.
Maybe
But he's not 17.
Okay, he's not
17.
17.
I
Now-
think that guy's 7. I heard
He
he's
is 17. I heard that somewhere. Did you tell me
Somewhere
that?
somebody mentioned
Somebody
it.
texted
I don't
it
know.
to me.
Crazy.
Maybe it was Riley that told me that he was 17.
Maybe. I don't hear much
That can't
about
be
it.
though, because they never talk about it on the games or anything.
Bottom line, Georgia's going to take care of business. Florida doesn't have the offense. As long as you guys just don't, as long as y'all play well, I think you're going to be fine.
Well, I do think that Georgia showed some signs of some stuff in the Texas game we had not seen. The running game showed up, and they tackled very well defensively, and that had not been the
That
case.
just showed how bad Texas is.
No, I mean
Texas has not played a ranked team. The only ranked team they played was Georgia and got destroyed.
Got hit in the
I
mouth.
get that. I think Texas is
something to
a very good team, but Georgia came in there with a chip on their shoulder and some elements that they had not had worked.
And number 13.
The weaker your opponent, the better you look.
Yeah.
That's true.
Number 13's pretty sporty.
Oh yeah, Michael Williams. He's very, very good. But it's Georgia, Florida, one of those big rivalry games. So you really don't know for sure. You just hope that you play consistent and take care of your business.
But let's get on to Trick or Treat,
All righty.
special Halloween edition. So, all right, Randy, Indiana Hoosiers. Are they a trick or a treat?
They are a treat.
Treat.
They are a treat. To this point, they are a treat.
8-0.
Treat.
They're a treat.
Treat, they're the best team in the Big Ten,
Oh.
besides Oregon.
So what about Ohio State?
Ohio State's kind of like Texas, a little bit overrated.
Oh.
The offensive line's had 2 major injuries in the last 2 ball games.
I was really surprised with how Nebraska did. I mean, that game was a lot closer than I expected it to be.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, Ohio State's overrated.
So how about Penn State? Are they a trick or a treat? They're playing Ohio State this week.
They will beat Ohio State, but I don't think they can beat Indiana
Okay. All right.
or Oregon.
Or
Oregon's
Oregon.
the real deal.
I like Oregon, but
I say
Penn
they're-
State,
I say they're a trick.
they're a trick.
Trick.
Yeah. They have been consistently
Inconsistent.
almost. They've been
But
almost
Going
there,
into
so-
Happy Valley is not a good place for a Buckeye.
Yeah. All right, Michael Best. We always debate Halloween candies.
We do.
This time, so
Been doing
we
it
got
today.
one. Been doing
Doing
it
it
today.
already today.
So a typical Halloween candy staple is the Tootsie Roll. That is the
Oh, here
the-
we
the
go. When
sucker.
he starts one of these like this,
No,
Tootsie Roll
this-
Pop?
Yeah, Tootsie Roll Pop.
it takes 3 licks to get in the center.
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
pop.
Yeah.
All right.
Even a little Tootsie Roll is good.
All right. Is it a trick or a treat? What do you say?
Tootsie Roll?
You like it or
That's
not?
a treat.
Man,
It's a treat.
please. Absolutely, that's a treat.
Yeah, it's a trick. It's
Better than-
disgusting.
Better than candy corn. It's a treat.
Ain't better than candy
All
corn.
you're doing is eating wax when
Well,
you
now
eat
back-
candy corn.
So candy corn's a trick.
I'm good. It's
Corn hand.
okay. Yeah.
And those are so. What's a treat?
I mean, like
He probably eats
A
vegetables.
mini Snicker.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Snickers, like
He probably
like
eats a celery stick.
Milky Way.
Yeah.
A celery stick.
Milky Way.
That's what he's handing out when the kids come trick
Yeah.
or treat. There you go.
Get
Celery
my,
stick.
get my house egg doing that.
Fruit and vegetables.
That's it.
They can't egg your house now. Eggs cost
Yeah,
too much.
that's true.
Here's
That's
a
true.
stalk of broccoli.
They
and
throw
some
fake
celery
eggs.
for you. Have a good night. young
How
man.
about Snickers and Reese's Buttercups and real stuff, not like Tootsie Roll fake chocolate with
Those
on
things
a
are
pot-
good.
yeah.
I was growing up, I'd give anything to get a Tootsie
Man,
Roll.
Those things are good.
All right, so Jim, Texas A&M, trick or treat. Texas fan, this game between Texas and Texas A&M.
It won't be close.
You think Texas A&M
is
a treat?
a treat.
Oh, I don't think so. I think
Wait and
Texas is
see.
going to get them.
That is a heck of a again. We
And
talk
I
about
can't
Lowndes-
wait, by the way.
Yeah,
I
we
can't
talk about
wait.
Lowndes and Valdosta playing to close the season
Oh,
out.
my
To see
gosh.
Texas A&M and Texas with a playoff
With
slot.
everything.
Talking about hate.
Oh,
Oh,
my
my
gosh!
gosh.
Yeah, I know.
Georgia and Georgia Tech don't.
No,
No,
I've
no.
learned. I've learned.
Yeah. It's pretty nasty.
Let me say this.
And they hadn't played in probably 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of pin-up stuff there.
There
too.
is.
I think LSU is not all that.
Yeah, maybe that's a.
And to me, that's the trick here. I think that Texas A&M is playing well, but I
Yeah.
don't know that LSU is all that.
Yeah, and Texas A&M to me again, they're good, but if they have to get in a scoring contest with Texas, they may be in trouble.
Yeah,
that's
agreed.
my thing about them. But they're very solid.
I just don't think you
RB
need
team.
to base your opinion on Texas A&M on what you saw against LSU.
That's a good one. All right, what do you say, Texas A&M?
Trick or
I
treat.
say they're a treat.
All right, you say they're a treat.
I agree.
All right.
He's trying to butter me up.
I know he's trying. He needs you right. All right, Randy, head coach Deion Sanders, trick or treat, having a great year, 6-2 this year.
I am going. I flipped my opinion. I'm going to
Okay.
say treat. He's done a much better job. They're playing much more consistent right now. Of course,
really
I don't know who they played,
Yeah,
but right now I'm going to say treat.
you gonna say treat, Michael?
I'm saying treat, and I don't know why Travis Hunter isn't in the Heisman talk.
He should be.
Should be.
They're a treat this year, but when Travis Hunter goes to the
Yeah.
NFL, they'll be a treat.
And the quarterback
and
too.
the quarterback,
Right.
and that's a really good sign for everybody. Is when you have a great quarterback, it makes up for
Oh,
so
man.
much.
It sure does.
And credit to Shedeur Sanders, he can sling it now.
But credit to Deion because at the beginning of the year they were a train wreck. It looked
Yeah,
like.
yeah.
I mean, when you go back to that game that they had against North Dakota State or whoever that was, who's a good
Yeah.
football team, they didn't look worth a doggone. They've stabilized it, no question. But Heisman wise, the kid from Boise State, and I
He's
can't
a
remember
stud,
his name.
yeah,
the
running back, yeah.
Man alive, he's something.
He's tearing them up. All right, last one. Michael Best, trick or treat. KRO band directors at Hugh Mills. Trick or treat.
Well, we'll certainly find out on Halloween because our current band director is the former band director, longtime band director at Westover. So it's got all
Oh.
and we had a little drama with the Doherty band director at home. They could be laying in wait for John Scanlon.
Yeah. all
It
right.
could happen. I'll have my phone out.
So the
ready.
question isn't so much trick or treat as who's going to get arrested. Is
Yeah,
that the question?
My money's on Michael.
That's
Yeah.
what
It
I'm
could be
thinking.
me, Fortnite's
I'm going right
over.
here.
I
If
know.
somebody- That's it.
All right. See you next week on the press box.